In the real world, knowledge is not just power, it's your first line of defense. It isn't enough to understand your own skills and tactics. You need to understand how to extract the needed data from human sources in a manner that appears natural, authentic, and ethical. The most effective operators aren't always the ones with the loudest voices, but rather those who are attuned to the subtle nuances of human interaction. What if I told you the real power isn't in physical prowess or technical wizardry, but in the art of human connection itself? In our everyday interactions, information is constantly exchanged, not just through what's said, but through how it's said. This isn't about manipulation in the traditional sense, which often involves deception and harm. This is about applying an intelligence approach, about understanding the underlying mechanics of human behavior, so you can influence ethically, extract valuable information, and operate in a world where others seek that control over you. In this video of The Intelligence Game, we'll dive deeper. We will break down the processes professional social engineers and intelligence operators use daily to ethically move through complex environments. You'll see that influence and persuasion aren't about brute force, they're about insight, empathy, and careful planning. You'll learn how to hack human interactions, not for malice, but for the purposes of ethical information gathering and for improving your personal interactions as well. Every successful operation starts internally. Before you can understand how others behave, you need to understand your own default modes of communication. These are the ingrained patterns that will subtly impact all of your interactions. The DISC model gives us a structured approach, breaking down communication styles into 4 types that will offer you insight. Dominant, D, direct, decisive, and results-focused. A D is not hesitant about making decisions, but can also be seen as overbearing or blunt. Influencer, expressive, sociable, and driven by a desire for recognition. An I loves attention and can be prone to superficiality. Steady, patient, supportive, and seeks out predictability. An S values harmony and will avoid confrontation at almost any cost. Conscientious, C, analytical, precise, and detail-oriented. A C is meticulous and may make others feel they are not taking things seriously enough. Which quadrant resonates most with you? Don't assume you're an even split between all of these. It is rare to be so well balanced. The truth is, you probably tend more to one or two over the others. Knowing that is the crucial first step. Are you someone who tends to lead with the facts, perhaps being seen as overly critical? Or do you perhaps focus too much on maintaining harmony, allowing issues to fester? How do you react to unexpected changes? These are important things to acknowledge. For example, if you identify as a high D, you might need to temper your approach and focus on listening more. If you're a high I, you may need to focus on showing that you're not just trying to be the center of attention. If you're a high S, you might need to speak up more directly, even if you're avoiding confrontation. The best social engineers learn how to mitigate their default tendencies. Now that you've analyzed your own approach, we can now apply these skills to the world outside. The pretext is the art of crafting a believable context, a framework for your social interaction. It's not just a cover story, it's the logical why behind your actions and your target's rationale for interacting with you. A good pretext will invite them to participate in your plan without them even knowing they are participating. Planning a pretext requires a deliberate, step-by-step process. 1. Problem. Clearly identify what information you're seeking or what goal you want to reach. This is not a wish, but a strategic need. Are you after a physical location, information on personnel, or some other critical piece of intelligence? If you don't have a clear purpose for your engagement, it will never truly make sense to the other person. 2. Result. Define your ultimate goal. What does success look like for you, and where does that fit in with the needs or desires of your target? What is the goal of the conversation in terms of what you are seeking, and how will you know when your goal has been met? Be as specific as possible, as this will guide your remaining steps. 3. Emotional state. Consider what emotional state you need to put them in to help them agree to your goal. Will it be empathy, trust, intrigue, or something else? You're not just trying to get information, you're trying to create an emotional connection. The goal is to make your target more inclined to help you by appealing to their needs and desires. 4. Provocation. How do you project an image to elicit this emotional state? If you want them to feel at ease, you need to project warmth and approachability. If you want them to be intrigued, you'll need to be a bit more mysterious. If you want them to be helpful, you need to project a kind and respectful persona. 5. Activation. Based on the desired outcome, define the scenario that will set the stage for your interaction. Are you a student trying to learn about their profession, or perhaps a curious neighbor trying to find local restaurants? The pretext should feel as though it naturally arises from the situation. 6. Rendering. How do you deliver on your pretext? What actions, words, dress, and props might you need to make it seem genuine? When, where, and how will you deliver it? Planning every element of this interaction helps. 7. Evaluation. Finally, is your pretext rooted in some form of truth, and will you ultimately leave your target better off for having met you? If the pretext will leave your target worse off, or is based in deception and blatant lies, it's time to reevaluate. It should be rooted in authenticity and also be a value-adding interaction. Think about it. A successful field operation isn't about brute force. It's about subtlety and strategic design. Each element of the pretext acts as a key, unlocking the door to interaction and engagement. A solid pretext creates the opportunity, but rapport creates lasting impact. Rapport is the sensation of connection that you feel with another person when you're on the same wavelength. It allows them to trust you, to open up to you, and to share their thoughts and feelings with you. It is a powerful tool for creating the needed environment for information gathering. Rapport is not about faking interest. Rather, you need to genuinely seek common ground. Listen. Focus on their words, their tone, their body language. Really engage. Subtly match their pace, their tone, and their overall demeanor. Seek commonality. Look for shared experiences, interests, or background. Are you both fans of a certain kind of music? Do you have children the same age? Do you both express anger in the same way? Do you both dislike certain political stances? Validate. Show you understand and respect their point of view. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but you have to value it. Watch your nonverbals. Body language often speaks louder than words. Keep your hands open, your posture relaxed, and your smile welcoming. By building rapport, you aren't just establishing a connection. You are inducing a flow of oxytocin in the brain of your target, which promotes trust, connection, and a willingness to share. You are creating the environment needed to get the access you seek. Influence is a powerful force, and when used with intention and for good, it can have a profound impact on your life. But when this is combined with deception, you've stepped into the dark territory of manipulation, a place where you are leveraging the emotions of others for your own selfish gain. Ethical influence, unlike manipulation, works with the inherent needs and desires of your target. It is defined by these key principles. Reciprocity, the need to give back to those who have done something for you. If you've given someone a moment of levity, they may respond by giving you a key piece of information. Concession, a willingness to compromise and allow the other person to meet you halfway. A negotiator may start with a high price and drop it to elicit a desired price point from the customer. Scarcity, by making a resource, piece of information, or opportunity seem less available, your target will be more inclined to want it. High-profile events often sell out due to the power of scarcity. Consistency. People have a desire to remain consistent with their previous opinions or commitments. After a series of small wins, people are more likely to agree to a large request. Social proof. Your target will look to the actions of others to guide their own decisions. Everybody is doing it, and similar tactics make use of social proof. You should be mindful of those we tend to trust. Those in positions of authority can easily persuade us to comply with their requests. Liking, you are more likely to comply with those you find likable or relatable. But manipulation bypasses all of these to leverage an individual's emotions for personal gain, leaving them in a position of vulnerability. It relies on forced reevaluation, prompting your target to doubt their perception and even their sanity. Powerlessness, taking away choice and free will. Punishment, instilling fear of a negative outcome if the target does not comply. So you have a compelling pretext, strong rapport, and a mastery of influence, and you've taken great care to avoid the dark arts of manipulation. Now you need to get the information you're after. And the trick is, you don't ask directly. Instead, you use elicitation. In elicitation, you are leveraging the natural tendencies of human interaction to get the target to reveal information by seeming like you aren't trying to get that information. This requires a nuanced touch. Try these techniques. Make obviously untrue statements. Your target is likely to correct what they know to be wrong and reveal valuable information in the process. Example, oh, that company has a very small presence in Europe, right? Might reveal valuable details about their reach if you're talking to a competitor. Give them a bracket. Ask them about a specific number in a bracketed range to entice them to offer something more specific. Example, if you want to learn the salary of a potential candidate, you could say something like, so I'd guess you're looking for something between 150K and 200K. Is that about right? By giving this range, you make it more palatable for your target to offer an exact salary. Help them assume you know someone or something. Name dropping can subtly cue someone to reveal information. Example, in posing as a worker from a different branch, you might say, I spoke to John in maintenance earlier and he said I should be getting the key here to get the receptionist to divulge where John works and give you the access you need to the building. Feign incredulity. React as if they are joking or say that you simply don't believe them, prompting them to offer evidence for their claim. Example, wait, you wrote a book? Backing up your request with supporting details makes your question seem more justified and reasonable. Example, I was reading that a lot of people on this bus use the app I'm testing. How do you feel about it? Will seem more reasonable than simply asking them about the app. Elicitation is about subtlety and creating an environment where the other person volunteers information naturally. You've got the skills, now it's time to polish your execution. Remember, authenticity is more important than perfection. Overplanning often leads to mistakes. Don't neglect the details, but also don't overthink things either. Be mindful of these details as you prepare to act. Know your audience. What do they like? What do they dislike? Are they detail-oriented or more concerned with big-picture concepts? Plan your conversations accordingly. Be self-aware. Take the time to examine your own nonverbals and habitual patterns. What might you be doing that would alienate others or give away your game? Avoid the 5 fails. Don't overstate, don't try to make everything perfect, and don't undermine your own pretext through missteps. Remain fluid. Be prepared to adjust your plan if the unexpected should arise. Remember, the ethical gathering of intelligence is about more than just collecting facts. It's about understanding motivations, building bridges, and operating within a framework of respect even when you have a goal to reach. It's about leaving those you encounter feeling better about themselves and about the interaction. By mastering these techniques, you're not just learning a set of skills, you're learning how to understand and navigate the complex world of human interaction. These principles, though described here in the context of influence and elicitation, also offer keys to understanding your friends, your loved ones, and even yourself. Understanding others and influencing them can create a win-win situation that benefits everyone, while also giving you the insights you need for personal or professional objectives.